Hello, I might have to end up scripting this in a bit, but I wanted to kind of talk about something that I didn't know about when I was healing from being covertly narcissistic type abused into a nervous breakdown. And I had to actually go into looking it up because I was just so confused. Like, why wouldn't these people just be honest with me? And that is, when you recover, like survive and recover from that kind of abuse, you will probably lose most of your friends. And this includes ride or die friends. This includes the people you thought will never leave you in your life, and the people that you thought were your best friends. They will probably leave. And from their perspective, it could be very reasonable reasons for this. Maybe it was the toxicity. Maybe it's not understanding what that type of abuse does to someone, and you don't understand what is abusive behavior, or you've had a nervous breakdown because you were abused into one, and your behavior is not normal. So it could be reasons like that, where it's for their own well-being, which that's fine. It's hurtful, but it's fine. So I at least understand that. And another reason could be because the abuse itself is something that they don't want to witness, or they might feel like they're participating in it by just standing by. And even though you do need supportive people, it could just be that it's too toxic and negative for them, so they leave to avoid seeing something like that. I am not a professional, by the way. This is just my experience, and then something I had to go look into because I didn't even know anything was wrong with people who are my best friends. Had no idea anything was wrong. The last time I talked to these people, they're telling me they love me and they miss me, and then randomly I am blocked by them on social media. Nothing, not a word, nothing, had no idea anything was wrong. I'm blocked by them, and they're still friends with mutual friends. So I'm still confused to this day, by the way. But I don't hold anything against them because I don't know their reason. It could be what the first things I even said is it makes people, the situation is toxic, and it also can make people toxic while they're in their recovery because you don't understand what behavior is normal or not. You've been treated, in my case, my whole life, because I had parents that were similar, whole life had no idea that abusive behavior was abusive, or that toxic behavior was toxic, because you're taught that that's normal because you yourself are being abused and taught by authority figures in your life, hey, this is normal, this is how you treat other people. And it really sucks. I just don't want anybody else to go through what I had to go through. I don't want you to have this just smack you in the face unexpectedly, because that's, like I said, that's what happened with me. I found out by mutual people tagging, had no idea anything was even wrong, not a clue. It sucks. People should probably say something. Even if it's mean, people should probably say something. I'd rather know than just be sitting here like, why am I the bad guy and the piece of shit and everybody else isn't? And I didn't even hear a negative word. It makes you think something is wrong with you. And it does bring up a lot of negative feelings, but you have to think of it from a different perspective. You can't think of it from that perspective, and you could try to think of it from your former friends and acquaintances perspective. And I think that's good too. I think it's good to think, oh, maybe the environment was just too toxic for them. Maybe what happened when I was put through a nervous breakdown that gave me amnesia, in my case, gave me amnesia. Maybe they could not handle that. Maybe they could not handle that brains take about a decade to heal. I'm on about 8 years, and I'm only just now sort of normal again. So it does horrible things, and it is really horrible to leave people when it's situations like that. It definitely is. But if you can at least look at the other perspective of, oh, it's probably for their well-being, it was bad. It's at least, if you can look at it like that, it's not so bad. It still hurts, but it's not the worst thing in the world, because you're like, yes, I could see why somebody would do that. That's okay. And I'm not sure. Some people could just be crappy. I'm sure there are cases where people are just crappy and selfish, and they're like, well, I care about this person in my verbal day-to-day life, but in my insides, I don't feel it, so I'm just leaving, I'm out. There probably are people like that, but I don't think that's as common. I think it's more common that it's toxicity and them not understanding what you have been put through and how it can take a decade or more for somebody's brain to be normal again, especially since we don't quite recognize these types of abuse. We have a bad habit of not recognizing any of this until the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp stuff had pretty bad, just pretty bad information about it. And now people are more along the lines of understanding, wow, this is horrible. This messes people up. It can cause brain damage. I guess not the same as an injury, but it'll make your hippocampus and amygdala, reversed sizes of what they're supposed to be. It makes you crazy. You will have severe PTSD, or CPTSD, I guess is more proper, probably for the rest of your life, but you do learn to manage it. You do learn to recover and heal from it. And I had to look this up when I was like, why is this happening to me? Why is this people that I thought would never leave me? And then you look it up and you're like, oh, okay, this happens to a lot of people who've been through this situation. A lot of it has to do with the toxicity and things that are going on. And there's just so many different reasons that it happens. I think it's good to look at it that way. And I think it's also good to look at it from the perspective of, yeah, it probably hurts, but do you really want somebody in your life that doesn't want to be in your life? You shouldn't. It sucks. It hurts. You might be very upset, sad over it, but you should not want people in your life who do not think you're a good enough person to be in your life, or might even think ill of you. I don't know if anybody in my past does. I'm just giving examples. You should not want those people in your life. People are allowed to have their own perspective. They're allowed to experience the world how they experience it, and they're also allowed to be incorrect, factually incorrect and wrong about what was going on. And a lot of it stems from just not understanding what it's like to be in that exact situation. In my case, I think that is a lot of it. People not understanding brainwashing, mind control, narcissistic, covert abuse type stuff. They tell you not to use those words online, but if you look up videos and stuff of the subject, it is a very specific kind of abuse. You can also get away with looking up covert abuse and emotional abuse, and it will be very similar, but there is an added sauce to what is somebody who has high MPD traits, or like high toxic traits that are very similar to that. I just wanted to make this one and kind of post it up because I feel like everybody who's going through something similar definitely deserves to understand what is going on and what could happen to them. And it really sucks. It really is hurtful, but at least if you can look from the multiple perspectives, you can get past it without having holding anything against people, and just trying to wish them a good life and just, move on with yours and do the best that you can do. I will post this on my costume page also, which I don't know if I'll ever get back into that. I'm too old by this point, I feel. So if I do post it on that, my page was hacked a few years ago. And I was wondering, I wondered why an admin I had named Eric removed themselves. I was like, what's going on? I haven't spoken to this person in years, but we weren't on bad terms. It turns out one of my other admins, I don't know if anybody was messaged during this time or anything. It was not me. I had no idea. Somebody under the name Eldib Hassan, no idea who that is, not somebody I know, added an admin just to get control of my page and try to mess it up. So if you got removed or anything, I did not remove you. I was inactive for years, and some idiot hacker who was targeting me specifically for some reason when I was inactive is the one who got on there and did all kinds of stuff and possibly removed people. If they messaged anybody, it was not me. It was not one of my admins or anything. Sorry about that.